Hello again, everybody. Episode 22 of Edgewater, Saskatchewan. We are starting today exactly where we left off, and that is down at the market. We just sold our first trailer of silage, actually. You may have noticed that this wasn't the sell point that I actually intended to go to. Part of the reason why is as I was making that drive down here in this kind of slow thing doing 20 miles per hour, I made the executive decision that I was going to sell this trailer. It's just we've outgrown it. We've definitely outgrown it, and yeah, this drive is driving me absolutely crazy. There's two options, I guess, really. We stick with the trailer but we buy a faster tractor, or we just literally get rid of the trailer and we'll jump straight into buying a proper trailer for the Mac, which we're going to do while we're here. So yeah, the trailer I've kind of brought to this sell point so we can pull it up to here, sell it at the shop so we get the extra 10% on the sale price, because why not, it makes sense. And then we will drive the tractor back and bring the Mac back instead. So we're going to do that. We're going to start the episode. Obviously this is kind of the big sale part 2, I guess. I'm not sure if that's what I'll call the episode. Probably will though, because this is the second half of it. You know, £37,464. It's going to go ever so slightly getting rid of this, which is worth, wow, it's worth a lot more than I thought actually. 7,631. That's pretty good. Just curious to see. So repairing it costs £21. So let's see. Yeah, so you know, we made a few extra dollars, I guess, didn't we? So we're going to sell that trailer. Thank you very much. It's done its job really well, but that is no more. So we'll just move the tractor away from the actual purchase point. And I know which trailer. Oh, I forgot these brakes are awful. I know which trailer we are going to go for. It was in fact the one that I was looking at a little while ago. So I think it's the most kind of old looking. Whether or not it's Canadian, I don't know, but it's smaller. I think that's the key thing there for our yard, which is not the easiest to maneuver. Actually, that is shorter, so that is going to be better. And to make it 45,000, still within, you know, kind of a decent price. It's $30,000, so that's pretty good. Do we want to cover? We're going to go with that. Look, 30,500, 45,000 capacity, which is way better. That's double plus a bit. And you know, we could use it with the truck, which would do 60, 70 miles per hour. So we have to do it. I really like that as well, you know. I really like it as well. One thing I am going to do, I keep forgetting to do it actually, but just in the game settings, the actual measuring unit, so kilometers. I've been thinking of doing that for the last 8 episodes, and I just keep forgetting, but we're going to do it. It's going to be a bit strange for me talking in kilometers, but suits the map, so we'll do it. So this will be one of those points where we will jump into the Mac, and I really like driving this in first person. I think it looks cool. So we'll just head on down to the shop, pick up the trailer, bring it back. God, that thing is absolutely huge. So we've reduced the 20 trips down to maybe, I don't know, probably still 8 or 9 trips, maybe not quite actually. 5 or 6, I'm not sure. Depends how fast it ferments, I guess. But one thing for sure is this is just going to be so much faster. For me, on the recording, probably won't make much difference, but for me, so much better. So I guess at this point really I'm kind of forward thinking what we're actually going to spend the money on, because we're going to have a decent amount. we definitely need to get a harvester. I am going to go with, I'm pretty sure, we'll keep an eye on the shop as always, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with the case. I think it's a US series one. It is a mod from Mod Hub. It is a crossplay mod. I think it's like £60, maybe just over £60. That would be nice. 60,000, maybe just a little bit over. But I do know it has got a really decent capacity. It's got a decent amount of horsepower, and it runs one of the larger headers, which for that price is pretty incredible, to be honest. And another reason I'm quite confident in getting it is because I have, on the kind of backup test save I've set up, I guess, for this map, I have ran that harvester with the pickup attacher for when we do eventually start swapping, and it does it absolutely no problem at all. Because that is something I would like to do. We will probably do that as soon as the swather finally appears in the shop, and I don't know when that's going to be, but unless something drastic changes, it may be a while. But to second the harvester, we need to get another field. So at some point in this episode, I'm not going to buy another field this one, but at some point in the episode I'm going to have a bit of a browse, just see what's available. Maybe pick 2 or 3 fields which kind of seem quite suitable, and then maybe some suggestions in the comments would be really good. So we will do that at some point in this recording. Coincidentally, the colour matches relatively well, not the same, but I didn't actually even look to change the colour, I just bought it as is, but that's alright, that looks pretty good. Now, I don't know if this is going to be one of those ones where you have to actually remove the cover manually before you can fill it, or whether or not it'll automatically disappear once we pull underneath that silo, but we'll have to figure that out in a minute. But this certainly looks more suitable size wise. In fact, it actually looks a little bit small. It kind of looks borderline ridiculous actually, but the capacity is great. So I'll make this little drive back to the farm, and I'll pop it back in just a second. Okay, here we are, just pulling back up to the farmyard. So this will be the first load in this tractor, in this truck I should say. Actually, this will actually be the Mac's first real job, apart from just towing that humongous trailer back. It's not actually done anything. Now we will follow the track. We'll see how easily we can maneuver this turning. I might jump into the third person just to, oh look at that, that's so much better, look. Yeah, you didn't see that bit though. Yeah, look, so much better. Right, let's get going. This area here, by the way, oh, interesting. Yeah, the cover does take itself off, because it just randomly did it then. I don't know why. Can you feel lettuce? Can you feel lettuce direct from the... Why is it doing that? That's bizarre. No idea why it was doing that then. Yeah, I'm thinking this kind of whole area here actually, maybe we make this into a bigger area. Probably kind of a turning circle for the truck, because we are going to be a little bit stuck now. Yeah, so it doesn't fill, so remove that, and now it does fill. Good. Look at the amount that's going into there. This is so much better. So much better. I think it was NC again actually, you mentioned about my sanity. You're absolutely right. It would have actually drove me insane doing that backwards and forwards. This yeah, when we talk about how much difference that snowplow makes, you can see, because I can barely move this now. So that's a bit annoying. Look, that animation is kind of sticking out the top there. Look. Next time I load this up, I'm going to have to try and move the truck forward as I'm going, just to level it out, because that looks ridiculous. That looks ridiculous. I'm excited to use the yellow low loader there, because I'm quite excited to use the kind of header attachment it's got at the front of it. That's a really good idea. I just hope it actually works. If it doesn't even work, then it's kind of a bit pointless having something that large. So we may just swap that out. We may sell it and just go for maybe the standard in-game one. But if it does work, if it does do what I think it's supposed to do, then that is actually a really cool mod. So we'll hopefully we're not that far off of actually doing something like that. The field we buy, by the way, when we look at the field availability at the end, it needs to be one that's already got some sort of crop in it, and some sort of grain crop, because I am thinking of the pigs. That would just save a lot of hassle, and it would save us having to go back and buy any more bags of grain. So yeah, we need to do that. Now this is struggling as well with the weight now. It really is struggling. It's still a heck of a lot faster than the tractor, but we may need to look at doing a bit of a repair, because we obviously bought this truck second hand. You can see its damage bar is quite low, and that's including the trailer. So if I took the trailer off, I would imagine it's even lower than that. So we are going to have to do some sort of repair. Okay, here we are, just pulling up towards our mate Larry's. We just need to make sure there's not a train coming. I love the trucks in this game, I really do. It's just such a good way to play it. We'll have a little look at the animation. Ideal. Look at that money going up pretty quickly. I was thinking actually, in between recording the last one and this one, why don't I, at some point in the future, not now, probably not anytime soon, but why don't I have to think about going for one of the placeable BGAs? Some of them, you know, the small ones don't really cost a huge amount of money, but obviously that would be a sell point. You know, we could sell the silage. You make quite a bit of money. Interesting, it doesn't put the cover back on. Yeah, you make quite a bit of money from it. It also produces digestate. You can actually sell slurry at a BGA as well, and it'll also give you monetary value for it, but also convert that into digestate. So just kind of, yeah, whenever I've used them before, they're a great idea. And I don't know, I think maybe about 50 grand. And you can actually buy one. So if we purchase a field a bit further down, somewhere else, eventually I might put a BGA in place. Right, I'm just going to pull over right now because I've literally just popped open the shop menu, and would you believe what's in there? I mean, that is the exact one I was just talking about. That is the exact one, and it's in the shop. How much was the discount? 44%. £38,614. This is what we need. It is what we need, and we have enough money because of that load that we've just sold. And I mean, that's really strange, really odd coincidence. It's almost like the game is listening to me through the mic. That never happens, never happens. So we're gonna get it. We can't miss out on this now. We cannot miss this at all. You can see it's quite worn. God, look at the state of it. But for that money, what's the extension give us? 7,000. I mean, these don't actually make any difference. You don't get these cheaper just because the rest of it is worn. Even though that's a bit, they're mugging me off, I think, to be honest, because that clearly is worn there. So, you know, I should kind of get that a bit discounted as well, really. Cheeky little buggers. But I don't think we need to worry about that just at this second. Are we really going to be buying a field that harvests more than that much? Probably not. Now, this doesn't actually make any difference to the horsepower. That one does. Wow, it's only £1,500 more to get 305 horsepower. Honestly, but these ones, I mean, what does it do? Oh, it changes the labels on the side. That is it. That's a lot of money for a sticker. I reckon I could get that off Amazon. Yeah, so we don't need to worry about that. I do actually quite like Michelin as a brand anyway. That is quite impressive though. I don't want to spend too much time going through this. So it doesn't actually cost any more money for these side protectors, and it defaults to put them on, but actually I think I might take them off, because that kind of looks quite cool. The detail in there is pretty good actually. Yeah, you can see I'm going to keep it off. It's quite cool. Makes it look a little bit older. Standard auger does cost us more, so we'll leave it on the standard one for a minute. It depends how crazy we go on the head, on the header. Okay, we'll do it. £38,614. And honestly, we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate. Right, let's get back to the job in hand. I can't believe that. I can't believe that at all. So, I mean, what are we going to end up with now then? So we've bought a trailer, and we've bought a really good harvester, and we've pretty much got no money left. So we haven't actually made a lot of money yet, considering this is part 2 of the big sale. We've got £4,000 left already. I'm pretty bad. It's a bit of an obsession, the used shop. It is a bit of an obsession. I always seem to buy stuff all the time, especially when I'm playing on multiplayer. Okay, here we are again, round 2. The Mac is doing a pretty good job. I definitely don't regret buying this. I definitely don't. I've always wanted to use one of these big American style trucks anyway, so I knew that this was going to be the right map to buy one on, and it just came up cheap, so I'm glad I bought it. Definitely. Now, this time round, we need to try and load it a bit more level. So let's position ourselves a bit better instead of getting stuck in the snow. Yeah, we're stuck in the snow. Come on. Okay, silage. Let's go for it. Well, that was a bit of a fail. And it was a bit of a fail because my PC decided to jump me back to desktop. It continues to record, I think. Hopefully. I will just check that now. Yeah, so it's continued to record. It just randomly decided to throw me back to desktop. So I'll put the cover on. This is going to look worse than last time, I think. Oh dear. Yeah, that wasn't my fault. I ain't taking the blame for that. Okay, well, in a weird way, let's go and make our first bit of money. Okay, here we are. Second trip. This time I'm actually going to pay attention to how much money we make, instead of talking and getting a bit carried away. So, we'll jump out, and we'll keep an eye on it. Right, £28,830. So it doesn't give you an environmental score. That's strange. I'm sure it did at the other sell point. Did it? I don't know. Right, I'm going to pause it, not that you would know. Just get my phone out a minute and have a look at the last video. Okay, right, I'm back. So yes, it did. It definitely did. Now, I'm just going to have a look. We haven't skipped a day. And our score's still pretty good. I know the grass field's getting a little bit iffy. I know that it needs a bit more nitrogen. I think it actually shows the pH level is bad, even though it doesn't look that bad. But grass is kind of odd. But our score overall was 82. Right, okay, next load. We're going to take it to the other sell point. Yeah, and just compare. So I think 28,000 is something we just got then. I forgot already. My goldfish brain syndrome coming out, I think. But yeah, about 28 and a half roughly. So we'll just go and see if the environmental score gives us more, even though the price they offer is less. That's something you've got to watch out for. Right, okay, just pulling in again. So we are now loading up load number 3. So yeah, this time I'm going to try and sell it at the other sell point, the sell point down by the animal market, and just see if that gives us an environmental score like it did. You know, I mean, although it was in yesterday's episode, it was pretty much an hour ago in terms of game time. Then I'm really confused, and I don't know why that would be. But we will soon find out. Now, I looked in the bottom corner at the speedo, and I seen 83 miles per hour, and I was like, wow, this map does 83 miles per hour. Then I remembered I changed it to kilometers. Yeah, it's a bit of an amateur on my side there, I think. Right, can I do it this time? Can I do it without getting stuck? Oh, it's more difficult than it looks. This silo fills up quick. I'm not very good at this. This is not very good, is it? It's the snow's fault. Just like that dodgy pallet loading, it's just the snow's fault. Okay, here we are, just pulling up now to the other sell point. So this one actually, you know, it's about £60 less per 1,000, which doesn't seem like a great deal, but you got to make any money you can get. But this one gave us an environmental score, so I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Now, can this make this in one turn? I'm gonna say probably not. So we'll do the same again. We'll jump out. We'll try and pay attention. Now, if the game is listening, there's nothing in the shop. But if you are listening, game, and you want to play along again, I would quite like a faster, higher horsepower tractor for very, very cheap. Yeah, look, give us an environmental score. So 25, 26, 27. So it probably still works out more at the other sell point. Just. Only just. But that is odd. Why is that? Does anyone know? Why'd you get an environmental score in this one, but no environmental score at the other one? I don't understand. Might be something obvious, but I've never noticed that before. Never noticed it. Anyway, right, £61,005. We've probably still got 3 trips to do. Yeah, we've probably still got 3 trips to do. There's probably another 2 trips on top of that, but I don't think the silage would have completely fermented. So we'll probably end up selling another 1, maybe 2 loads in February. Potentially. It would be nice at the end of this episode to see how much money we're going to have. So maybe I'll kind of... Well, I guess I'm not breaking my own rule because I haven't actually skipped forward a day in this one yet anyway. So maybe I'll actually skip forward a month like I do every episode, but actually kind of midway through the episode. Just so we can get those last 2 bits sold through and see just how much money we're going to make. Okay, next load. Unloading now. I don't even know how many loads we've done. I have no idea. I've lost count already. What I am going to do, just while we're here... Oh, that's interesting. We kind of get stuck into something there. Right, what I'm going to do, just while I'm here, just while that's finished off lowering, I just want to see what's down here. This is quite a cool little track, and I've never noticed it before, really. I've probably looked at it loads of times, but I wonder if that's a little cut through. I quite like this little area as well, if I'm honest with you. I'm definitely, when I get nearer the end of the episode, I'm definitely going to be looking at fields which obviously are in our price range, because we need to be able to afford it, but a field that's kind of somewhere different, somewhere a little bit outside of our little area. To be honest, all the fields around us are just far too big anyway. But yeah, somewhere that's quite pretty, looks quite nice. I guess the distance between the actual farm and the field is irrelevant to people watching at home, because I kind of clip in between the drives anyway, pretty much. So I am going to go for somewhere that's out in the middle of nowhere, potentially, because even though I'll clip it out of the actual video recording, I'm still actually driving there, and that's that whole kind of the extra little bit of gameplay that I quite like, to be honest with you. So we'll have a good browse around. There is no limit on where we buy a field. I do know that this kind of random road here to the right at the very end of that, is quite a decent priced field. If that's the one that we got to go for, then why not? We'll kind of dictate ourselves by the size and the price and what is actually growing. I guess that's going to be what's important. Okay, another load. Again, I have no idea which load this is. I don't know. But what I do know is the money in the top corner. I think this is the first time that we have been over £100,000. I'm sure of it, in fact. That is really good. So another 28,854. So we've got 118,691. Bearing in mind I bought this trailer for 30 grand, and I bought the harvester for just shy of 40, I want to say. That's a pretty good day. That is a pretty good day, and we still have more silage. It's not quite fermented yet. I think there's about 20,000 fermented, ready to go. But to be honest, if we're making the trip, we might as well just hold off until the rest of it's done. Otherwise, we're just making another trip for no reason. And this Mac does seem to drink a bit of fuel. I have noticed it's already gone down. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's gone down maybe 10% just doing these trips. So yeah, we need to try and save a bit of money where we can. It's not always about spending. But yeah, that's great though. 118,691. So I'm not too sure what to do when we get back to the farm. Might just skip through a day, just to get the silage finished, I guess, and finish the episode on a nice big rounded amount. It certainly help us budget a field. But also there's a few things that I do want to get done, and I guess it doesn't matter if I do them this month or another month or 6 months time, but there's just some things I really need to do. The main one being I need to place a fuel tank, just because I keep running out of fuel and it's just getting a bit ridiculous now. And if I'm honest, I think I've used up all of the barrels, so I can either drive back to the shop and get some more barrels, or we can place a little farmyard fuel tank, which I think is the right thing to do. Now obviously, sticking to the realism, I won't just magically refill it. We will have to buy the fuel in a tanker, probably in this Mac, because why not, and then actually drive it back to the farm and then fill the fuel tank manually, like you would do. I guess I could kind of pretend we've had a fuel delivery, but no, I don't want to do that. So it does mean we are going to have to spend a bit of money on the fuel tank itself, the fuel itself, and some sort of liquid tanker, which is fine. The liquid tanker, by the way, I've already downloaded a mod again, Mod Hub. It holds fuel. It also holds water, milk, various different liquids. It's only about 15 grand and it holds 40,000 litres. So it's another reason to use the semi. So we're definitely going to get that. I do that every time. Right, I think we'll just leave that there. We are pretty much done with that for the day. So in there we have got, let's load it up in the menu because it's a bit easier to see. So, well, there's 28,000 just over of silage ready to go. So it's not far off another load, but there is still another 100,000 to be taken. I mean, that, what are we saying? 28 grand a time, I want to say. There's another 80 grand's worth there. Honestly, we're going to have £200,000 even after we've kind of spent the money on a few things. That is incredible. That really is incredible. So, I haven't needed to check any of this today, to be honest, because in theory we haven't actually skipped forward a month since the last episode. So I'm just going to remind myself, because yesterday was a long time ago when you've got a memory like a goldfish. These guys do enjoy the snow. So yeah, nothing major to worry about there, I don't think. We'll again jump to the menu because I think it's much easier to see through YouTube. So yeah, we just need to get that grain sorted. We need about 1,000 grain there just to completely balance the whole thing out. They have eaten maybe 300-400 litres of food though overnight, so they are eating a lot more. God, these guys here are nearly at puberty, which means they're going to be reproducing as well. So we have 10 pigs. I think the capacity is 20. So in a minute, this is going to be full. Well, I guess the month before we reproduce over the maximum, so we've got 20 pigs and they are 1 month away from reproducing. That's going to be the best time for us to sell them. May not necessarily be the best time to sell them, but that'll be the best time for us to do it. Maybe we need to consider a bigger pen for these guys. We might need to do that. That's also produced another 1,000 soybeans, and we've just been playing at kind of, I've put it up to ×5 now, but it's just been playing at kind of ×2, ×3, and it's produced another pallet. It's funny how it's snowing now, and the roof's gone. That's good work, that is, well done. Okay, right, well, let's jump back in the house, warm ourselves up a little bit, eat one of those croissants that's probably gone hard and stale now. It's been sat on the table for about 3 months. We'll have one of them, warm up a bit, and then get back to the silage selling. Glad I didn't leave the door open. Okay, right. Great demand at the Red Marble Bowling Restaurant. I wonder what that's for. I'm always interested to look at what these great demands are. I guess in a way it kind of helps you predict what is or what definitely isn't going to be demanded. So that, yeah, we're not going to be making cake. Such good money though, isn't it? I'm assuming there's nothing else that's needed there. No. Well, that's fine. It means they're not going to be demanding cake anytime soon. Well, it's still rather white. Doesn't look like it's going to stop. Before we get too far, anything a little... Whoa. Yeah, loads in the shop. When I said I wanted a tractor cheap, that's not cheap enough. Farm Simulator. That is not. Do you know, that's a shame, because that is the water tanker I want to get, but not the dollied version. I'm not, no matter what, I am not buying a dollied version of anything. I think I did that in the last series. It was a nightmare. I'm not doing it, but that is a real shame, you know. £8,865. That's disappointing. Right, let's get back to it. Has the rest of the silage fermented? Oh no. All of our hard work we did. I knew it. Look at how much snow there is. Look at it. Well, hats off to the map creators, because this is definitely realistic Canada from what I've experienced anyway. This was a complete mound here, and now it's completely flattened out again. Jeez. Right, how we look? Look at that. Pretty much done. So let's get straight back to it. Now, hopefully, the recording itself for me is taking a fair while, but I'm going to be cutting out so much of this. So hopefully the episode will be a decent length. This is barely drivable now. This is barely drivable at all. I think I'm gonna have to snowplow again. Maybe once we've made some kind of indentations in the snow, it might, oh dear. No, this is not going very well at all. We'll try. See if we can get out. So the price now is actually better at the livestock market, and obviously that's given us the additional bonus of the environmental score. So we will sell the next 3 loads. It's gone down ever so slightly because February isn't the right month. It's still quite high, but it has dipped a little bit from January. But it's the best of what we can get. Okay, here we are. So how much are we going to get today? We were pushing about $28,000 for each load in January. So let's just see how much we're going to get. So right in the early hours of February. But the price is still alright. It's not too bad. So 25,503 and 2,500 pretty much environmental score. So that's 28,000. It's only really a few. In fact, it's paying more today here than what it was paying here yesterday, or last month, I should say. So actually, we've come out of this pretty good. That's not bad. About 28 grand then. It's only a few £100 less than what we were getting in January. Ideal. I don't know what it is, but all of the luck seems to be going our way in this episode. Okay, on our way back, another load. Honestly, if I hadn't have bought this trailer, I think I would have given up by now. I think I would have just given up. This is hard work. But it's all worth it in the end. Oh my god, this snow is awful. My driving's awful, but the snow's making it worse. I am, just while I'm thinking about it, I am going to introduce another little rule. It's not a very big rule, to be honest with you, but just add on a bit of challenge to it. So, you know, I always try and keep to realistic brands as per the map type. So that's not really a rule. That's just kind of a nice to do, really. So don't use things like the Fiat that we used in the first couple of episodes before it had the issues. Actually, it's not very common in Canada, which is one of the reasons I wanted to get rid of it. But the rule I am going to introduce is just around brands. So I think 3 of any given brand is probably a good kind of rule. So for example, John Deere, we now have 2 John Deere tractors and that mower which we've nearly parked on top of. So that would be our 3, that would be our limit. So if I wanted anything else John Deere, I would have to upgrade one of the current John Deere bits of machinery to a different brand potentially. The reason why I kind of think that's quite a cool rule. Oh dear. Yeah, you can do it. Come on, Mac. Yeah, the reason I think that's quite a cool rule is it just that it keeps variety. You know, me personally, I watch a lot of YouTubers playing the game, and I enjoy it. That's the reason why I do it myself. But a lot of people use the same mods or the same brands. John Deere, just as a good example, you know, it's kind of quite common. They've got a good selection. The mods available for John Deere are incredible. They're the best variety of mods, but that's why everyone uses them. So I think just having a limit of 3 would just encourage me to use different brands and keep it a bit more non-biased. I know a lot of people don't comment on my videos. No one really comments on my videos, but I know I've seen it in a lot of other YouTuber videos, kind of remarks about, you know, certain YouTubers always using certain brands. So I just think we'll flex it up. We'll keep it a bit more open. But what it does mean is we will probably upgrade one of the 2 tractors to a different branded tractor, which will then keep us open to get another John Deere bit of equipment should anything come up in the shop. So yeah, it's a good nudge to go for a different brand of tractor. Right, another load. Getting a bit bored of saying it now. Again, I have no idea which load number this is. I lost count after the first kind of 4. But what I'm not losing count of is the money in the top right corner, which by the way is over 160,000 now. So this is definitely the most amount of money we have had in this series, probably in any series that I've done actually. Even the kind of roleplay series where the money value is just kind of made up, to be honest with you, because I can just adjust the setting to suit. But yeah, this is good. Oh, the brakes are much better on this Mac. Right, this should be it. This should be the last load. Now, if it is a full load, we will just break 200,000. That would be good. That would be a nice finisher for the episode. Yeah, I would be happy with that. This episode probably, by the time I edit it and release it, is actually going to be a bit of a boring episode. Because it's basically me driving backwards and forwards and talking about rubbish, because I can't really think of anything good to talk about. So yeah, this may not be a particularly great episode. However, what it does mean is future-proofing maybe the next 2 or 3 episodes for a complete new challenge. Hopefully they'll be quite good, quite exciting actually, the next couple of episodes. There should be quite a lot going on. So much so, I'm going to need people to help. I think that is definitely imminent. This snow is becoming unbearable now. I'm fed up with it. There we go. Right, this is the last load. We've emptied the silo. 38,675 litres. So I think we'll probably still just about make $200,000. Yeah, that would be good if we did. I'll be happy with that. Okay, for the final time, at least this year anyway, we are pulling into the animal market. We're going to sell it. So 38,675 litres. Is that going to just get us to 200,000? I think it should do. I'm pretty confident it will do. But nice round figure to end the episode on. We'll take a little cheeky peek at the map in a moment and have a look at some potential fields. And then I think the episode will end for there. So it's been a bit of a backwards and forwards one. hopefully it's not been too boring. We've spent a bit of money though. We've got ourselves a nice looking trailer there for the Mac, and we've also got ourselves an absolute bargain of a combine harvester, which we haven't even looked at yet. But I do know that they're very good. I've used them before. Now typically £198,415, so it just had to be slightly below 200,000, didn't it? You know, not everything could go right for us in one episode. Now just before I get too carried away, there's nothing else in the shop. It's always worth keeping an eye on that. So let's have a look. So we essentially want wheat. So what's this one here? 124. Okay, let's go barley. This one down here is barley. See, 97,448. That is a decent sized field as well. So that, I mean, that maybe, that's option one. Pretty much right on our budget of what we want to spend on a field. But I bet that is a big field. I bet that is a really big field. Okay, so 28 or maybe, or field 41. It's funny how it changes when you go into a different view, isn't it? So let's go with this view. So plot 28, or what else is there? Oat. So this one here, plot 24, again about the same sort of money. That's a good one. That's pretty much the route that we have to take every time anyway. I think it is. Yeah, it is. So that's not a bad one. So that one there. So what are we on? Plot 28, plot 24. I think this one here was, but that's probably, yeah, I don't want to spend that much really. I don't think we're in a position to spend that much. That'll be a bit too much. What else have we got here? Wheat, barley. Where is sorghum? There it is. Okay, so obviously sorghum just isn't a thing in Canada. Okay, so that's no good. Now what about the new style? Are any of these actually a grain? I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe it is. That's going to be far too big. Now field 21 or plot 48, it's only £60,000. That's quite a good little plot. So if flax is considered a grain, and I'm not sure, I mean I'm assuming, is it kind of seeds from the flower which would be classed as protein? Not sure. Peas, again, I'm assuming that's not classed as a grain, and lentils, again, I'm not sure if I'm completely honest with you. But there's a good selection there actually, field 14. Maybe a little bit over budget. This one here, yeah, 53,000. I don't mind doing the drive. That one there, yeah, maybe we can scrape that price. I don't know. Wow, there's a couple of options anyway. It looks to me like maybe field 28. I think it was field 24. Potentially, if flax is considered a grain, something like 48. And then also potentially 18, I think. Although I don't think that had the right crop type. So I'll have a little bit of a think. But please do, as always, everyone's brilliant all the time anyway, but let me know what you think. Definitely let me know if these new crop types are considered a grain. I suppose I could find out by doing a quick Google search, but if you've played the map, obviously the priority is to expand the empire, but feed the little piggies. So yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed the episode. I've enjoyed recording it, although my finger is quite sore from holding the trigger on this Xbox controller for so long. But it's great. It's great to make progress. We've got a decent harvester a decent amount of money, so I'm pretty happy. So until the next time, hopefully, I say hopefully I will manage to get a roleplay episode recorded and out on the weekend, but I honestly can't promise anything because it's still half term. I've got another week of it. So yeah, tomorrow's normally my day. I have a day off work on a Friday. I record, I get a good session in for the roleplay, but it's not going to happen. I've got 3 kids here, so I'll try my best. We'll see what happens. See if I can get one out for the weekend. I don't want to lose momentum. There are some other YouTubers who are far more popular than me playing on the same map at the minute, and I just don't want to lose momentum. I want to keep the story going. Just helps me to keep the ideas fresh, I guess, and the storylines fresh. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, cheers and gone.